FOG Andrew here, and the coach here, and JJ here from the Family of Gamers. Welcome, War Gamers, to an exciting, awesome, unmatched discussion video. So, today I thought we would ask the question, which is better, Redemption Row for Unmatched or Hell's Kitchen? Now, these are the two Marvel sets that are out for Unmatched. We're going to take an in-depth look into each, what we think of each box, and then we're going to try to decide which one is better. So we're going to start off talking about Redemption Row first. This one is the first 3-character box. First things first, what do we think about it being 3 characters but for $50?
It should be 4 characters.
It should be 4 characters,
right?
I mean, I think we could all agree on that. But the Marvel license, I think, kind of really brings up the price, unfortunately. But this box comes with Ghost Rider, Luke Cage, and Moon Knight. So let's talk about Ghost Rider first. What do we think about Ghost Rider?
I've only played Ghost Rider like a handful of times. I have not yet mastered like his little
Hellfire
thingies, but he's it's easy to get them back, and I think like once you've like used those, it's good. You know, what's his hit points?
17.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So he's not a terrible character. I think once you just get down the Hellfire, he's pretty good.
Right. So, Coach, you've gone up against Ghost Rider. What do we think about him?
He's good. The Hellfire thing, but the thing is, I think the Hellfire things are hard to manipulate. So you got to like do that, and then I know that Moon Knight has a thing where he can look at your deck, take away that card, and I know that when we played, you had replaced the 5 Hellfire, like bring all 5 Hellfire back, and I just got rid of that card, and you were screwed.
Yep.
And ended up Moon Knight won that one. So
yeah,
I think him out of all 3 of them are he's a little dicey, a little harder to manipulate.
Against Sherlock, Ghost Rider is no match because once Sherlock goes into the opponent's hand and takes out that set your Hellfire to 5 card, you are done.
Right.
And once you don't have that card to reset your Hellfire and do the zoomy, that's what people are calling it.
Right.
When you spend a Hellfire and move 4 spaces and deal a damage to each character you move through.
It sounds good in theory, but
yes,
a lot of times with the movement, guys are not really next to each other. Because you think about it, Moon Knight when he's Moon Knight, can move 5, and that's pretty good. And he can move 3 regular, so he's able to kind of manipulate himself away from it.
Yeah. But I think Ghost Rider, like you said, is the most iffy out of this box.
I think he's iffy, but I think he's more for a veteran of the game, or a veteran war gamer that can manipulate the Hellfire tokens with the movement.
Yeah.
If you just coming into it and like say you're learning the game, I would suggest maybe Luke Cage.
Right. Now, speaking of Luke Cage, he is my favorite in the box. So we'll talk about Luke Cage. Comes with Misty Knight as his sidekick. Luke Cage only has 13 health, but he takes 2 less combat damage.
So essentially he has armor 2.
Yes.
Yes.
So pretty dang good.
So you're usually getting, maybe if you're lucky, you're getting the most 2 to 3 hits on him. 2 to 3 wounds on him. So it's usually like 1, because a lot of 3 cards out there. Having that armor 2 is really good.
Yeah, and just having he has regroup in his deck, which is the worst card in the game. Only one. It's the one value card that's you draw a card or draw 2 if you win.
Right.
He makes it a 3 on defense.
Right.
So makes that card even better.
Right.
So that's pretty good. Misty's also good.
Misty's annoying.
She's ranged.
Yeah, she's annoying.
Yeah, she is definitely annoying. She's ranged, and she can do commanding impact because that's an any card. It's a 5 value.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty good. I think Luke Cage is definitely my favorite in the box. JJ, what do you think about Luke?
I also really like Luke Cage too. I think having a sidekick that is ranged, and then I think his like always having 2 defense thing is really cool, essentially the armor thing. Yeah, he's definitely the best out of this because I think I've actually won with him, and
Yeah.
the other two I have not won with yet.
Mhm.
So he's cool in my book.
Yeah. Now,
I will say that you are both wrong because Moon Knight is the best one out of this whole box.
well, let's talk
I love
about.
Moon Knight, but
Well, let's talk about Moon Knight. He's got 16 health, and he's got 3 different identities. Goes from Moon Knight, which lets him move 2 at the start of his turn. He's got Khonshu, which adds +2 to his attacks, and he only takes damage from combat, not from anything else. So like Muldoon's traps don't affect him. And his third one is Mr. Knight, where he gets +1 to his defenses. So, and then at the end of each turn, you switch. Now, I played a game with JJ where I got halfway through the
forgot.
game and I completely forgot that I had to switch identities. So I didn't do any of that for half of the game.
Right.
So I don't think the management of his identities is like bad or I don't think it's like confusing, but I think you just got to remember it.
When you're doing your
each turn.
housekeeping, you have to know.
switching his identities to Moon Knight is like the Hellfires to Ghost
Yeah.
Rider. Like
It's
essential.
it's
or
more
else
yeah.
You really can't.
But here's the
It
thing.
holds you back.
It doesn't, because I'll tell you why. If you set yourself up knowing that Khonshu's coming next, knowing that you have like Khonshu and you're going to attack with the +2, or you're going to move through traps, or you know that stuff. That's the one thing I will say that we forget.
Yeah.
Like, I know myself playing, not taking damage only from combat, not from all that other stuff. There's a few games, and I think in the battle reports too, I think I would have won that battle report knowing that. But that's on me as a player. You know, I can't blame you can't blame the character. You got to blame the guy. So I should have known that.
Yeah.
But the manipulation of the characters, knowing that like when I'm Khonshu and I'm getting into combat, being able to do that extra makes a big difference. But then turning into Mr. Knight, now I'm in combat, knowing that I'm going to get combat thrown back at me, and I have Mr. Knight with my +1 defense, really makes a difference. And then Moon Knight can kind of skitter around, build up your deck and things like that. So
He is very strategic.
Yeah, I like him. I like him out of the 3, not taking away anything from the 3 because I like all 3. But I'm going to say Moon Knight is, for me, tactically, I like doing that stuff. Mm-hmm. And also, we've been using the models in it, so that helps me to remember who's who.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I printed up 3 different Moon Knights and put them in and used them. That really helped me to know who's who.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, it's Moon Knight.
Yeah. My favorite's Luke. Yours is Moon Knight. Yours is
too.
Luke.
I mean, like, Moon Knight's not bad. I feel like I haven't played him enough, and like we have to put him up against other characters. And
Yeah, yeah. We've been trying to do as much as as much as we can, like Marvel versus everybody else, just to see how they work. Because Moon Knight could be great against Luke Cage, but he could like suck against King Arthur. Like
Right.
we don't know, you know.
Don't say suck.
Okay, I'm sorry. So let's talk about the board. So this board that comes with Redemption Row is the Raft, and overall the board itself. What do we think about it? Because there's tokens, but what do we think about the board itself, just being the board?
It's just a board. I think the
Yeah.
thing that separates it is the tokens.
Yeah,
I don't like the design on the other side. I never like
Oh,
the
yeah.
color thing is confusing.
Yeah, so it
You can't
has
see 'em that
it has
well.
one side where
We only play on this side.
yeah, and the other side is the colors are on the zone for the zones are on the rings instead. But yeah, both of the Hell's Kitchen and Redemption Row boxes come with tokens. This box comes with a food tray, a folding chair, and an electro baton, which lets you add extra values to your attack or defense. So it's got 2 +1s and 1 +2. Then there are scheme tokens, which is an action to use them. The secret documents let you discard your hand, draw 3 cards. Security camera lets you look at an opponent's hand and then draw 1 card. And the electrified floor, deal 1 damage to each fighter in your zone, which includes yourself. What do we think about the tokens and this board?
I like them.
Yeah.
I like the tokens.
Yeah, I like the tokens too. 'Cause sorry.
No, I like when the way you've been doing it. We're doing it randomly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's not like put this one here. It's like
Yeah.
randomly put them out.
The
But
electrified floor could be on the left. Next game, it could be in the middle.
Right.
Could be back on the left.
But
Who
I
knows?
don't think it influences the game too much. It's
Mhm.
good. Sometimes it gets like it really helps, and it really helps a lot in defense.
Yeah.
I think. But yeah, it's a cool twist. The board is just the board. It doesn't have the I mean, my favorite is the Cobble and Fog board with the
Baskerville
secret
Manor.
Yeah,
Yep.
the secret
The
tunnels
secret
and stuff,
passages are the
and
best.
also the levels.
Hanging Gardens.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
that
like
give you
that.
the +1 attack.
Yeah, I like those too. But you know, this is just it's a basic board. It's a different board. It's all right. It's you know, I don't think the specialty of it is the tokens.
I mean, this board, it's like strictly put into 3 sections. You have the left, the right, and then the middle, and that's it.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like,
but
they
that's
don't all connect. They
but
only connect in certain
It's
parts.
a board skirmish game, so that's okay. You don't have
Yeah,
to go
no.
too crazy.
I know. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
it definitely feels different when playing on it. Not even just with the tokens, I think. So that's Redemption Row. Overall, what do we think of Redemption Row? Solid box.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that the one with the misprint?
No, that's Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, okay. We'll get to that.
But let's talk about Hell's Kitchen. Now, you were excited for this one because your boy Daredevil was in it. Now, what do you think of Daredevil?
He's tough. He's the Ghost Rider of this box.
Okay.
He takes a lot more strategy and card manipulation than, let's say, everybody else. I would say he's got a smaller deck.
Yeah, he's got 22 cards.
And when I've played him a few times, I've won with him, but I've lost with him more. And the thing is if you don't have the cards, you know, he's very unforgiving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I understand that in a dice game, if you don't roll good, but with this, if you don't have the cards or you're blind boosting and stuff, it's really like card manipulation stuff. And I know they say the endless deck, but I've run out of stuff more times than I'd like to say. So I think with him, strategically, he is very, very, he's tough.
Mm-hmm.
But when it works really good. So it's like he's black and white. There's no gray to Daredevil.
So I think Daredevil is extremely tough and extremely good. Mm-hmm. He's very tough, and I think every time I've played him, I don't think I have failed with the endless deck.
Right.
And especially with the Devil of Hell's Kitchen card, where if there's no cards in your deck, it's an 8. That's a powerful attack. Almost nothing else in the game can really defend against that.
But like I said, that becomes, it's one of those situational things where it's like, I've had that card, and I could not get my deck down, like where, enough where I would have to make it for 8. So, like I said, the card manipulation is tough with him. It's tougher. I like him. The last battle report we did, the one that's on the channel, we came this close.
Yeah.
He had we each had like 2 health, and then I lost to 2 health, and you were down to 1.
Right.
It's just the way it is. But I still like him a lot. And, his stuff, like Son of a Box was my favorite card.
Mm.
Devil of Hell's Kitchen. You gotta love Daredevil.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And JJ, Daredevil.
He good. I won with him one time, and then after that, not again. So, to him, like you said, he's the Ghost Rider of this box. Once Ghost Rider loses his Hellfire, that's a problem. So same thing for, like, he has an endless deck, but you gotta like use that correctly, because if that gets fainted or taken away from you, like, you're done. So yeah, there's like, it's like good, but also once you lose that ability, there's no coming back from it. So.
Yeah. Once he gets fainted, it's all over.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
All right, Elektra. What do we think about Elektra? Actually, I'll go first. Very good. She's got 4 hand ninjas. When you kill her, bring her down to... she starts with 7 health. You kill her, she comes back to life with 9 health, and then she has additional effects on her cards that she can use when she's resurrected. Again,
so with that,
4 hand ninjas as well.
When we do free-for-all, I notice no one wants to kill Elektra.
Yeah.
Elektra it's almost like, because when she resurrects, she's actually stronger.
Yeah.
So nobody wants to kill Elektra.
Yeah. I think she's very good. I do think she's very good. She has a lot of crazy things. Only 20 cards in the deck, but when she dies and comes back to life, guess what happens?
Back.
You get the cards back from your discard
If
pile.
you're down to 19, you're down to one card. She resurrects.
So really, she's got 40
She
cards.
got 40 cards. Think about it.
And her hand ninjas come back on the board even if they all died.
And they're very like, they just keep coming back.
Yeah.
They just, like, her cards keep bringing them back.
Yeah, I don't think Electra's bad either. The problem is, though, with her resurrection, like, if you're getting close to running out of cards, like, you have to hurry up and, like, die. Or else you won't get them back in your deck again. So, yeah, you have 40 cards if you do it right. So, again, kind of like, you gotta be strategic about it again. So, but I like her sidekicks, and I like that, you get to, like, bring her back and have more cards, but just again you have to play it right, like everything else.
Now let me ask you a question, and this is one of those obscure rules that I don't know, but you would probably know. Let's say I'm playing Electra, all right. I have 2 health, and play a card, and I'm like, all right, all right, just take it. But I have a defense card. Can I decide not to take it?
Yes.
Okay.
You can decide not to play a card.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
No matter what.
So then I would just resurrect her, coming back and get a new deck and whatnot.
Yeah. All right. So, Bullseye. What do we think of Bullseye?
Bullseye breaks the game.
No,
Definitely.
I do not think
He's
so.
really hard to play against.
I have lost as Bullseye.
Okay.
I have won as Bullseye. I have won more than I've lost. But there are a lot of times where it's been very, very close.
I'm not saying he's unstoppable, he's unbeatable, nothing. His ability breaks the game. Hear me out.
Okay.
All right.
You heard it here first.
Well,
folks.
I did. I think I did this in one
Yeah,
of the
I think you talked about it in the free for all.
But it's worth repeating. So everybody's ranged ability goes by zones.
Mm-hmm.
His is 5. Doesn't matter your zone, nothing. Which is very Bullseye-ish. If you've read Bullseye, you know that's him. He's a pain in the butt, and he just doesn't care. I like it that it does that, but it does. I'm going to say break the game as far as the rules are concerned. Every other ranged character, who's a crazy ranged character, is like say Robin Hood, Medusa, Yenenga, but everything is in the zones.
Yep.
So you can kind of stay out of that zone as a melee character. With him, he just runs away from you and keeps hitting you on the way out.
And he could hit you first turn.
Correct.
5 spaces away. If you're doing a free for all like we've been doing, like we played a game before and I hit you first turn. I didn't even have to move.
Right. And if you're not conscious of that, you know what I mean? Like, you could move your 2 or 3 and you're in Bullseye's range.
Right.
I think he's great. His cards are I'm going to say similar to Deadpool's, where they really reflect what he's all about.
Mm.
You know what I mean? As far as we've read everything with Bullseye in it. I don't think there's a comic that we have not read that doesn't have Bullseye in it. He is really reflected really well. The characters are, but he's such a scooch and a pain in the butt that his stuff really reflects that.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's my favorite in the box just because of how crazy he is. If you won the combat, do this. If you won the combat, do this. But this card makes you win the combat. Oh, gain an action this way. Oh, do this, do that. Love his chicanery. It's awesome. Now, onto the board. Also has tokens, which you can actually mix and match the ones from Redemption Row and Hell's Kitchen and mix them up and then put them randomly on the board. So you could have the secret documents on Hell's Kitchen or the first aid kit on the raft. So this board actually has 2+2s to your combat or defense and 1+1. And it's got 3 scheme tokens. It's got the map, which is your next attack this turn can target any space, which is nuts.
That's a good one.
First aid kit, recover 2 health, draw a card. And the payphone, choose 1 card from your discard pile and add it to your hand. So
I think the tokens in Hell's Kitchen are better than the ones in Redemption.
I agree. Especially the first aid kit. That has helped me numerous times.
It's so good.
And getting out of a bad spot. It has helped me so much.
And being able to have a melee character and being able to make that ranged or attacking somebody in another zone is huge.
So the map, I like how it's not that overpowered because you can really only do it as your first action.
Mm-hmm.
Because then your second action would be the attack. So you can't do it as your second action unless you gain an action somehow, like with Bullseye or even Bruce Lee or something, which wouldn't really do much, unless you're going to attack someone on the other side of the board. But nonetheless, these tokens are much better than the Redemption Row ones. So overall, this is the question: Redemption Row or Hell's Kitchen? JJ.
Hell's Kitchen.
Coach.
See, I really like the guys in Hell's Kitchen, but I really like the way Moonlight plays.
Yeah.
Overall box, I would say Hell's Kitchen, but Redemption Row has a lot of good stuff in it, and it has Moon Knight in it. So it's hard. I like the characters in Hell's Kitchen. I like Moon Knight in Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
I like the tokens better in Hell's Kitchen, but I like the map better in Redemption Row. So it's hard. It's
a tough question.
It's almost like it's a tie for me because I like to take Moon Knight in the Hell's Kitchen game, and I like to put Daredevil against Luke Cage, or like take Elektra against Ghost Rider. It's I think they marry each other. I think you have to get both boxes, and I think you have to do it where you randomize and mix up the tokens.
Yeah.
I think it's two releases that should have come out in one box. I understand that you're not going to pay $100 for the box. No one would buy it. We would buy it, but not a lot of people would buy it. But by breaking it up, knowing that this is like Marvel A and B go together.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to say which one's better. I'm really on the fence. I'm leaning towards Hell's Kitchen, but I can't because I'm like, well, I like this and that. I usually am able to pick. I can't really say.
Yeah, I like the Hell's Kitchen tokens, but I honestly like the Redemption Row characters better.
I like the characters better, but I like the way Moon Knight plays better.
But I think the Hell's Kitchen characters are stronger than the Redemption Row characters, but I do like the Redemption Row characters a little bit more than the Hell's Kitchen ones, if that makes sense. Just gameplay wise.
I think the only way to figure this out is to throw down. Have, HC versus RR. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
It's just the only way to do it. So,
yeah. Well, guys, let us know down in the comments below which you think is the better box, Redemption Row or Hell's Kitchen. Let us know down in the comments below. Join the Discord server. We'll be having some crazy discussions in there about this stuff, so stay tuned for that. Link is in the description. Now, the video right here in front of JJ and Coach is the video that the algorithm wants you to watch because the algorithm gets sad if you don't. And also, right here in front of me is the subscribe button for more Unmatched videos coming out in the future. And if you like us a lot, you could support us on Patreon.